So we now know we've got an online tracking of what people are talking about. And that's our market research on an ongoing basis. So what do? Well, we can respond to customer conversations. We can outreach. That Land Rover story I talked about is outreach, isn't it? It's going and talking to customers. We can stimulate conversations. We can try and look at other ways in which we can influence the brand online by media sharing or video virals. And I'm going to talk about something called the social media release in a second. So here's the Dell community. The Dell community is a lot of things now. It's blogs, it's forums, you know, it's videos, it's RSS syndications, it's podcasts, it's everything that we've just been talking about. So what I love about a lot of this business now, and all you PR types, you know, a lot of opportunity. People, you go in to see a client and they go, oh yeah, we know about blogs. But they don't really understand what it means. They don't really understand the essence of it, which is actually embracing customers now. And once you start embracing customers, you have to do it 100% or not at all. And if you do it 100%, you know, you're not talking about spending $150 a year on a WordPress blog. You're talking about 24/7 user management, user moderation. You're talking about forums, perhaps. You're talking about, you know, content to go up there to satisfy them. You're talking about customer service support. You know, it's a commitment. So social media is going to be that big commitment. At the moment, you know, we're running a couple of social media campaigns for some big brands, and very few people are actually engaging it how we would want them to engage. So it's a great opportunity. So Director Dell, this is Chief Executive talking about it, and just showing you some of the resources that Dell have put behind it. And this is all a result of Jeff Jarvis slagging them off in 2005. Okay, here's another case study. Avis, this happened the other way around. Avis said they wanted a blog, so they put a blog up, and people started telling them what they wanted, which drove it the other way. Lots of conversations, and the conversations said, we want a clearer contract, we'd like sat-nav in the cars, and your loyalty scheme sucks. And so, what do? They produced a clearer contract, they put sat-nav in the airport cars, and they put together an Aston Martin loyalty incentive. Now, in PR 1.0, when you get a reaction from any PR activity, you track it in the sales and market share. But in PR 2.2, you get an immediate reaction on the blogs, and people start to talk about it. So the next day, we got people saying, you know, they seem to be doing something about it. And the conversations preceded the effect. And in a period of 6 months, measured against Hertz, they increased their rating 200% relative to Hertz. And the market was growing at 1%, they got 10% growth. So it works. Can't remember the name of the agency. Anyway, not really good at remembering all the names, forgive me, I'll think of it later. But LG decided they want to launch a new phone, and the way they did it was by engaging bloggers. They worked out who was blogging about phones, they sent them the new phones, encouraged them to blog, had a few geek ups in some pubs in Soho, and to explain what a geek up is, getting all the geeks together. They used to be geeks, now they're not, they're now marketing people now. To actually have a seminar about what's going on. And the company sponsors that, so they provide the champagne and the canapes, or sausage rolls and beer, depending on the audience. And basically, we're looking at proliferating word-of-mouth marketing. Here's a great one. So you can have a look at this. I think it's called The Ramp. Yeah, it's called The Ramp Movie. So have a look at it on YouTube. And so there's this movie, which I can't play you now, because otherwise we'll be here forever. And it's a really good professional movie about this bloke who is talking about the ramp that seems to be built in Bavaria. And then he interviews local people, and they're not happy with it, you know, because it's in the countryside. The fact is that, you know, he's got a Flickr site, he's got a blog, he's got a Facebook site, and then he's got the movie. And he goes interviewing people in the village of, I don't know what the village is called, is it? Oh, sorry. I can't remember what the village is called. It's Offenbarken or something. It's in Bavaria. And everyone's sort of moaning about, I don't know why this ramp's there. It's ridiculous. It's a lovely countryside. Of course, a ramp isn't there. It's photo. What am I looking for? It's photoshopped, yeah. And they're all actors. But it created a great kind of buzz and groundswell and conversations. And then we start to get real people moaning about the fact the ramp shouldn't be there. And how dare they build a ramp in the Bavarian countryside? And then they get the journalists involved, and then at the site of where the ramp should be, the whole purpose of the ramp was to launch the new BMW Series 1 with wings and see how far it would go. Okay, so it's a way of getting groundswell, getting conversations going. This is one of our case studies. We do Chester Zoo. And what we wanted to do was to engage the community. You go to the zoo, what do? You take a photograph. So we said, we'll upload it on the site. So they did, in their droves. And when they uploaded it on the site, we actually hosted it on Flickr. So we created a Flickr group for photographs that are uploaded on Flickr. And when you go to Flickr now and you search Chester Zoo, you end up with, what does that say? 22,000, but it's actually about 27,000 now. So we've now got an exponentially growing group with Chester Zoo on the Flickr, on the tag on Flickr. Okay, and if you look at it, they're having conversations. 37 comments, 15 comments, and so there's conversations going about these photographs at Chester Zoo. And so what we're now doing is trying to engage that community. Perhaps we'll do social media photo passes, social media photo days, social media photo lessons and lectures. Engage that community with in a particular way that's reflected commercially in Chester Zoo. Okay, who's seen the Mentos Coke thing? Hands up? Oh, good. Well, I thought I'd have a look at that and see what's on the net, always on the net. Right, so let's have a look at it. And that video in 2 years has had 8 million views. 8 million views. You can quickly translate that into TV money. No, okay. What's the formula? Anyway, it's a lot of money. And not only that, we had a load of other people trying to spoof them. So, in total, if you put if you look at how many people have been viewing these things, you know, we've got a lot of people viewing the original and then the spoof and then the things that go on, and it kind of goes on forever. And the whole message, I mean, I don't know whether you know the story about it, but originally, when these guys did it, Coke tried to stop it. Coke tried to ban them doing it. And Mentos got their legal team behind them, thought it was a great opportunity, and sponsored them. So now they do these big events all over the States, and like 40,000 people turn up to see people putting Mentos into football stadiums. It's true, football stadiums. They fill football stadiums, putting Mentos sweets into Coke bottles and See the Coke bottle spin round and spurt this stuff out. What a great PR stunt. Yeah? And not only that, you've got a whole phenomenon, and it's on the net, and it'll always be on the net.